Do you remember the young African woman we met in Marley?
Women of the world.
Well, her courage has really touched me.
Do many women around the world live in such difficult conditions?
Oh, sadly, yes. It's women who produce between 60 and 80% of food in most developing nations and half of all the world's production, yet they have little income and very few rights. What's more, 70% of illiterate people in the world are women.
So why are women so much poorer and more underprivileged than men?
Well, nearly everywhere in the world, unfortunately, we still find that women take second place, with first place occupied by men, of course. And it's a problem more cruelly apparent in the traditions of certain poor countries.
Whoa!
But it's a very long story, as old as humanity itself. Hurry up, hurry up. Come on now, we're running late.
All through history, women have been subjected to the rule of men. Even in ancient times, they were seen as inferior beings. Only men could go into politics or own land, houses, and wealth. Girls could be married off at the age of 12. The ancient Greeks said a woman's greatest finery is her silence. In the Middle Ages, wives had to obey their husbands, keep quiet, wear no makeup, do the housework, look after the children, and devote themselves to keeping their husbands happy.
And woe betide any single women or free-thinking women. They were denounced as witches. Remember Joan of Arc, that brave heroine who fought better than any man? Abandoned by all, she died burnt at the stake.
Ah, come on, what's the problem? That's just the way it was.
But how could men have been so unfair?
Being selfish, ignorant, or maybe they were just actually afraid of women.
Afraid of women? How
They
come?
may have been afraid women would do things better than they could. Then men wouldn't have been best at everything anymore.
It was only after thousands of years of subjugation that women began to struggle to gain equal rights. The right to vote was first obtained in New Zealand in 1893, then in Australia, Finland, Canada, Brazil, France, China, and India. It's now almost a universal right, but most women in developing nations continue to do hard work without being paid. This is not acceptable. We want equality for women worldwide.
Well, you can see we have a lot more work to do.
We've elected C, editor-in-chief, for the special issue on women worldwide.
What? We don't want a girl in charge here.
I should really think before you speak, because if we apply equality of male-female numbers here, there's one boy too many here, and it could easily be you.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
It's true, there are more boys than girls here, especially if I include myself in your calculations. A female editor-in-chief is an excellent idea, and the subject is perfect, too. Wouldn't you agree?
So in our country, women do enjoy equal rights.
Even though we may enjoy equal rights as a whole in most of the Western countries, women are still paid only 75% of what men earn for the same job.
That's normal. Men earn more than women because they're stronger than them.
You were saying...
Ugh.
And here's the proportion of men and women with positions in governments worldwide. It's a staggering statistic.
And one I hope that will change. By the way, do you have any information about the conditions of women worldwide? In the special edition of your paper about women, you'll need it.
We're setting that up. We have our Guardians of the Planet correspondents waiting for us everywhere. Hooray! Petra's off to Africa Africa to investigate the origins of poverty. I'm visiting India. And Mountie is going to China.
Ding, 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 ding.
While back at base, Annie and Sophie will stay here to collate all information received.
Great.
And which will come in from all over the world. Are you ready?
What about us?
We haven't forgotten you. You'll be teaming up with us. Here's the list.
Fine example of feminism and great efficiency, don't you think, guys?
Why the two of us been put with her? 'Cause normally, it's one boy for two girls, isn't it?
Yeah. I know. It's because she's weak. She needs at least 2 bodyguards to protect her.
Welcome to Burkina, Petra. I'm Yaya. You didn't tell me you were bringing a couple of comedians. Those are fields of sugarcane and peanuts.
It's immense. So then, why do they say Africa can't feed its own population?
These crops aren't for us, they're for export. All this may end up on your plate or on your neighbor's.
That's ridiculous. What's more, huge farms like this ruin biodiversity. The plant species that grow here have vanished. Who knows if they'll ever come back? And the fertilizers and pesticides pollute the water table and wells.
You're right. Let me show you the results of our intensive farming. You see, when there's a drought, desertification sets in. So now nothing will grow here. And to think that our crops are used to pay the money lent us by other nations. A debt we can never pay back. Now, do you understand how hard African women have to work? They don't have any money to buy good land. And there's barely 2% of farmland left for them. Look, this is the 6-armed woman. It's how we represent our women. Look, there's one over here. Come on, then. Let's help her.
Don't tell me the village is up there on the hill.
We're never gonna make it there.
Be quiet and walk.
So what's for main course today?
You can eat as much as you want when you get home. Here, that's the whole meal. I need the rest for my husband and children.
What? You can't work with just that in your stomach. I'm still hungry. It doesn't fill you up, that stuff. I need a good burger and extra fries.
You just have to follow Asia's example and be grateful for it, right? She'll show you your chores. She's going to school today. Right. Asia. I don't see many men in the village.
That's because most of them have gone to look for work in the capital city. The women and children will join them if they can't survive here, meaning more and more poor people in the poverty of the shanty
I
towns.
can't believe how brave they are, with no education or training and with no money.
Sadly, in Africa, women are often ignored. The men get trained to use farm machinery in the fields like the ones you saw. But as for the women, well, they just have their strength and their goodwill. They need mills so they no longer have to crush millet for hours on end. And transport, which will give them time to learn and read and write. Instead of wasting hours fetching water and firewood. We need wells in every village to irrigate gardens and individual plots. The women have a wealth of historical knowledge. Thousands of years ago, they were the first to farm the land and improve species. They know the benefits of hundreds of different plants, like those for medical usage, for example.
You're right, yeah. There's enough food for everyone, providing that we give the means to people here, and especially to the women who are providing food for the whole world. With their efforts, Africa will prosper.
You have a really remarkable aircraft there. But here in India, nothing ever surprises us. I'm Madhu. Welcome to the state of Gujarat. You've got here just in time. The meeting's starting soon.
So do any of you here have enough money to buy farmland, a business, or any kind of mode of transport?
Are you joking? What do you think? I was 12 when I married my husband, and he's still the boss.
I own nothing, just my daughters to help me with work. My husband looks after my boys. He sends them to school.
My husband says women shouldn't be educated or even show themselves outside the house. And if he isn't happy with me, he can throw me out.
Remind you of anything?
Sure, we seem to have been transported back to ancient times or the Middle Ages.
I gather wood in the forest and sell it in the city. But I barely earn enough to feed my children. And foreigners from some organization came to tell me we shouldn't touch the trees because of deforestation. That's easy for them to say. They look healthy and well-fed.
So what do they want me to do then? Starve to death?
As you all know, the banks only lend to those people who can pay back the loan. People who already have money. It's for this reason why we've founded the Bank for Women, to lend money to women who have nothing. My name's Namita. Don't be afraid. Come see me and talk about your financial concerns, about your plans. We'll lend you the money. Here, the women have absolutely nothing. They have no skill or income, and most of them are illiterate. Some have to go into the forest, tap rubber from the trees, and sell it for a ridiculously low price. Others, who are known as the garbage paper pickers, who collect used paper from trash cans and sell it by the kilo. These jobs are so degrading. But today, our association includes thousands of women who do have an income. When they bring money home, their husbands treat them totally differently. But we're very concerned about the environment. We've created this nursery to protect against desertification. And see those women there? We've helped them set up poultry farms. Now their income is much better than it was. Now, she used to be a garbage paper picker. Now she sorts used plastic packaging in the streets for recycling. Women like her are called health assistants, and they earn a lot more money.
It was Simone de Beauvoir who said, "A woman's freedom is her purse." I now know what that means.
The Bank for Women. Here, all the staff and customers are women. But let me show you our pride and joy. The University for Women. Because without education, women will always be the poorest people in this country.
These women had never picked up a pen in their lives, and their teacher couldn't read or write only 3 years ago. Now it's her husband who does the cooking when she gets home late. This is our barefoot doctor class. They visit families to teach women about hygiene and health care.
As I understand it, your aims are therefore jobs with a reasonable remuneration, education, health, and protection of the environment.
Yeah, women must be independent and equal to men to make our plans viable. We have to think about sustainable development because that's the only way we will ever beat poverty.
There are hundreds of us women working in this factory making jeans. The boss lets us sleep here. There are 10 of us sharing the room, and there's no heating in the winter.
Why are there only women in this factory?
The boss says women are docile and obedient. Look, that young girl comes from a poor family in the country. Her parents spent all their savings sending her brother to university. As a girl, she has no choice but to work to help them. Hey, drink it quickly, will you? You know we don't have a lot of time. They serve us the same soup every day. It's got no taste and isn't filling at all. I almost collapse when I work nights.
So you work nights as well?
We work 17 hours a day, 7 days a week. It's toughest at night. I find it so hard to keep my eyes open. Hey, look. You're both wearing the jeans we make here. All the jeans we make here are for big US and European brands who buy them very cheap.
And then sell them to us for as much as they can. I swear I'll never buy this brand of jeans again.
Well, you know, your girls seem very happy at their work. You have a model factory. And I'm really impressed, Mr. Wang. It's a pleasure to do business with you.
A model factory when the women are working like slaves here?
Who let you in here? I forbid you to film!
But why? Have you got something to hide then? Did you know if a woman worker here falls sick, she's fired on the spot?
Huh?
And with the wages 30 times lower than Western workers, these women are the cheapest labor in the world.
Where do you get off talking to me like that?
We're the female guardians of the planet. Female guardians? That's not exactly true. Sorry, Simon, but there are causes when us women have to stick together. We demand that you refuse to work with bosses who flout international labor law. We demand that you stop making profits at the expense of the material well-being of women, their education, and their health. And we will carry out checks ourselves, and if necessary, inform the press so that your customers find out all about your production methods.
I will personally make sure that Mr. Wang increases wages and offers decent working hours. And if not, I'll put an end to our partnership. But of course.
Goodbye then, Liu. And never forget that you can always depend on the guardians of the planet to help you.
Okay, guys, I know you think the girls had all the best parts of this investigation, but we have to admit they did a great job defending women's rights. Our teams in the field also did some excellent work. Maybe one of the guys would like to tell us.
Equality is for the guys, too. Go on, Jumbo, over to you.
Thank you. I'm glad you think we're of some use, Annie. In Poitou, Senegal, the women decided to clean their village littered with plastic bags that make the ground infertile and that can choke animals. They turned them into strands and weave them into flowers, hats, and balls that they sell to bring in cash. It's worked so well that they have all now become genuine businesswomen.
And in Tanzania, a woman teacher managed to set up a school for girls and boys, despite locals seeing no point in girls going to school. They are being taught so that they will be able to get a job in the future and therefore avoid forced marriage.
Ali and Sophie have received some fascinating accounts from their friends in Vietnam and Indonesia. So who's going to speak about that?
Oh, no problem. I've become a feminist. You can do it then, Sophie.
Our friends from the club down there have told us about their family gardens. Around their houses, women grow many different types of plants. There's vegetables, cereals, spices, and medicinal plants for their own use and to sell at market. The money from the sales gives them a wage. Their products are of an excellent quality and organic because they use no fertilizers nor pesticides. Allie and I have made a little cartoon to explain. Over to you, Allie.
There's a pond for fish, which also provides water for the garden. The animals feed on the aquatic plants. Their waste, plus pond mud, fertilizes the soil. The trees, called margosis, produce an oil that's a natural pesticide. There's strong biodiversity with up to 200 species of plant. Lots of flowers, many vegetables, and other species. The plant matter is never, ever wasted because it's used to fertilize the soil and feed the fish. And the trees around the garden provide firewood.
It's an excellent idea to maintain biodiversity, which supplies quality food and an income for the poorest rural workers. Oh, that would be the ideal solution for your friend Asia in Burkina Faso. Biodiversity is vital for our future. Just think, out of the thousands of edible plants, humans eat just 12. And out of those 12, just 3 provide more than half our calories and proteins: corn, wheat, and rice. By developing these thousands of small holdings that practice traditional farming, we may find the key to the food supply of the future. To conclude our investigation, I've come up with a little scenario for you. Let's suppose I asked all of you to repaint my living room. The girls are fast and repaint 2/3 of it, while the boys do the other third. In payment, I give €1 to each girl and €10 to every boy. And to keep you going, a piece of bread for each girl and a solid meal for each boy. You'd find that completely ridiculous, and you'd think, Maestro's completely lost the plot. But that example is a simple illustration of how women are treated. Their work equates to 2/3 of the work done in the world. And yet, they only earn 1/10 of all wages. 70% of the world's poor are women, so remember that. But I'll leave the last word on this to C.
There are things we can do. Monitor the people who exploit female labor in developing countries. Grant loans to poor women. Make education compulsory. Outlaw arranged marriages. And I ask you this, amongst those who oppress and those who destroy, how many women can you name, huh?
Not a single one. And we all know that, don't we?
And that's reason enough for men to accept that now is the time to share their power with the other half of humanity.
That's right.